On Wednesday, the 22nd of February, we're going to be hosting a very special 12-hour live stream here on AFTV. We're going to be raising funds for the victims of the devastating earthquake in Turkey and Syria. We're bringing together all your favorite programs, plus as well your favorite presenters on AFTV and also around the football community here on YouTube. All coming together to do this special 12-hour stream where we can raise as much funds as possible for those victims of that deadly earthquake. So join us on Wednesday, the 22nd of February from 12 p.m. till 12 a.m.
How's it going, people? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another AFTV live stream. As you just heard from Robbie, tomorrow we've got a very special 12-hour fundraiser all going towards Turkey and Syria's earthquake appeal. So make sure you're there. Multiple shows throughout the stream, multiple special guests as well. Everything ranging from Invincibles podcast, Forever Arsenal, Best of Enemies, a Big Six special as well. And like I said, multiple guests coming in and out of the stream. So make sure you're there 12 till 12. And yeah, we'll keep it moving, people. There's a link in the description now as well. So if you want to donate, you can donate. But we are also here tomorrow throughout the day and evening as well. So make sure you're there, people. I'll see you there myself. Cecil will see you there as well. Cecil, it's been a little while since we've done one of these. It
has. Firstly, how are you feeling? Obviously, I know you were ill over the weekend. Are you feeling better? Obviously, Arsenal won. So
I'm feeling better. I just can't. I can't taste and smell at the moment. So, you know, and I've taken COVID tests and all of that, people. Free tests, free negative tests. It's not COVID. It's a strong case of man flu. I think that's what it is.
It's a strong case of man flu. I like that. I like that. But no, it's good to be back, man. It's been a while. It's been a very long while. And big up, obviously, explaining about the 12-hour stream tomorrow. It's going to be a busy day. It's going to be a good one. So make sure you guys join us and donate what you can. But yeah, no, I'm good, you know. I think everything's all right. When I saw Chris Brown again last night for the second time.
Swear.
Yeah.
This guy. I'm surprised he wasn't brought up on stage and put on that seat.
Chill out.
You would have jumped at the chance. I know you.
You ain't lying.
He's going to be a dance off.
So come back from that last night. And yeah, obviously went to the game against Villa. It was a good one, man. It was a good one. In the end, very, very nervy at moments. But no, it was really good. It was really, really good, and glad the boys got over the line in the end and got the 4-2 win. And we needed it, I'll be honest, because my hopes would have went down if we didn't pick up any points there. That'd have been me saying season's probably not going to happen, probably not going to get the title. But now, still have the belief there, still there. And fingers crossed we do make it. But we've got a lot to talk about today.
Yeah, we do. A lot of people actually saying I'm a good luck charm as well, because since I've been away, we didn't win a game, and then I've returned, and obviously I returned for the Manchester City game.
I was about to say, bro, you're all.
Yeah, that wasn't the best of games, the best of nights to say the least, but we got back to winning ways against Aston Villa. Lucky in the end, we deserved the win. But you know, we got there in the end. Thank you, Emi Martinez. Nice header into the back of his own net. Plus the injury time courtesy of him.
And
we're back. We're back in the winning column again. So we needed to, and we're back 2 points clear with a game in hand. So we just got to keep it moving now. Leicester away, Everton, Bournemouth all to come.
We got to keep going. And do you know what? I guess this is a kind of a little exclusive. I don't know if I can say these things. I don't know what it is. After the game, obviously, I got brought up. Not obviously, but I got brought up to not meet Ollie Watkins, but see Ollie Watkins, called me up to go to the box. When I sat down, had a conversation, and I said to him, he believes we can go on and win the league. He's obviously an Arsenal fan, he's a big Arsenal fan, but I spoke to him and I said to him, I was like, I didn't expect you to score that goal. And he looked at me, he was like, what, you don't rate me? I said, nah, not like that.
We just rate Saliba.
Yeah, exactly, that was it. I was like, come on, bro, like Saliba, you know, I think he's a very good defender. And he was like, yeah. I just didn't expect, and the way he shot from him, he's only just a step over, hit the bottom corner, it was a good goal, but yeah, I rate Saliba highly, and he was like, all right, cool. But he believes that Arsenal can win the league. I asked him, is there a difference between like us and City? Like, what's the difference? He said, like, City are different in the sense that they just keep the ball side to side. It's very boring, it's very meticulous, but they do well at keeping the ball, but they don't keep it with intent like Arsenal. He said to me, like, they get the ball and they get it forward. Like, they get it to Saka and you can't really stop him. And I was like, oh, rah. So it was nice to hear from like a player, their opinions on, I know he has a little bit of bias because he's an Arsenal fan, but it was nice to hear him to say, yeah, he believes, you know, we're a bit more threatening than what City are. So that was that was a good one. It was a good game in the end, a good time after as well, and
a good win. That's the main thing. I didn't care how we won the game. We just needed 3 points and to get back to winning ways, and we did that.
Any thoughts on Emi Martinez just quickly before we get into the news? Like, obviously he was really taking the mick. He rubbed Eddie's head. He was time wasting, and like remember Ramsdale. Not to that. I don't think he does it at that level, but he has a lot of shithousery in him as well. But we love it because we're Arsenal fans. Did it make you feel even sweeter? You know, that happened to him head in his own goal. The only reason why I asked this is because I went to Argentina when Argentina won the World Cup, and I didn't like Martinez for his comments after he left Arsenal, but I actually really found my respect for him through Argentina being there. They love him, they laud him up, and I respect his story and where he's come from. But sitting in that stands, I was just getting rattled by the way he was acting.
Listen, at the end of the day, obviously, Emi Martinez is a player that if he's playing for you and he's doing that sort of stuff for you and you're a fan of the club he's doing it for, then you tend to love that sort of a player because, you know, shithousery at times, especially in the Premier League, is enjoyed by the fans of the club that the player plays for. If you're an opposition fan, if you're a fan of the club that he used to play for and the way he's talked about the club that he used to play for and what's happened since, then of course you're going to enjoy it and you're going to revel in it. And it was probably the perfect way to end that game, considering the stoppage time was heavily down to him holding onto the ball, and the referee not really holding him too much to account for that. There was one clip I saw of him holding onto the ball for 30 seconds. I thought there was a 6-second rule, but that doesn't seem to be in play anymore.
That's gone now. That's gone now. But you're right. He was holding on to it for ages. And even like Emery saying, I didn't tell him to go up for the corner. Like sometimes, you know, it's just karma comes round. But anyway, it is what it is.
It is what it is, man. Let's get into the news anyway. Right. I think the main news of the week.
Or today, really. It's the big news today dropped.
Yeah, big news today dropped. Mohamed Elneny is signing the contract. Well, he signed the contract extension now.
Right.
Is it a year extension?
Yeah, a year extension until 2024, June 2024. He's now the longest serving current Arsenal player. He joined 7 years ago, Mohamed Elneny. And at first, when that came out, it popped out today from Arsenal. I was like, hold on, didn't we just offer him an extension? But they've done another year. It's a second extension. And I actually like this from Arsenal. Now, from a man who works within the PFA and the LFE and mentoring young players, and player care is a big thing, massive thing for me. Elneny obviously currently injured. Arsenal have kind of done a thing where it's like, look, we'll extend you, we'll value, you know, we're thankful for your time that you've had here, but we'll extend it going forward. Even though he's currently injured, they give him an extra year. They clearly want him around. It's not like a contract where they're going to expect him to be the main, you know, midfielder, but it's kind of a thank you. And nowadays clubs don't do that. Let me tell you that now. Most clubs would have been like, he's injured, he's not our main number one. Let's try and look to move him on. But I think this is like a goodwill gesture from Arsenal. And for me, I like it. I really do. I'm happy with it. I'm happy with it. As a fan, I think it's good, especially from Arsenal Football Club. Like, it's a handshake to Mohamed Elneny and say thank you. Keep him on the payroll. Keep him there. Keep him sweet. I think it's right. I think it's right.
Yeah, I get that. I thought last year's extension would have been the final one for him, because I do look at this summer and I do hope that Arsenal go in for 2 midfielders, an 8 and a 6. I hope that this doesn't disrupt those plans if they are in the plans, and I assume from some of the noise and the bids we made in January around Caicedo and the noise around Declan Rice, that, you know, we are still going in for potentially 2 midfielders in the summer, but we're also going back to Champions League football, so, you know, depth and experience is going to be vital. So, you know, the contract extension, I'm going to hold back from praising it now, because I hope the club still do what they have to do in the summer.
Does it really affect it? Do you really affect it?
We'll see. We'll see.
In the comments, it's very hit and miss. So can I just get a poll in the chat? Was it a good decision, extension, yes or no? Just quickly, only because I've just read through the ones that are coming in, and it's very up and down. Some people are on your side and saying what you're saying, some people on my side, but I don't think it affects it too much. I think giving Mohamed Elneny an extension is not such a terrible thing. I don't think he doesn't moan, doesn't complain. He's a model professional.
Look, if he's the third choice 6 heading into next season, I'm more than happy with that. I'm calm. Because the third choice 6, you're not looking at him playing many games, a handful at that. And Elneny is decent enough for a handful of games.
He's the third choice to 6 now, though. Partey, Jorginho.
Actually, I forget we got Jorginho too. But then that even puts more doubt into whether Arsenal are going to buy another 6 this summer.
That depends if they extend Jorginho's contract.
And it also depends how Jorginho kind of kicks on this. And Jorginho was excellent against Aston Villa, in my opinion. But you know, there's doubts about his signing as well. It's only a 1.5-year contract that he's been given, so there's not much risk factor there. But I do also want us to sign players in the 6 and the 8 this summer. But now I'm thinking about it. We've got Partey, Jorginho and Elneny in the 6. I guess it's highly unlikely that we will be going for a 6 in the summer.
You got me thinking now. I mean, well, Jorginho's, unless they look to extend his, but it obviously depends on the time he has here at Arsenal towards the latter end of the season. They're giving Elneny extension. I still think they can get in one more. DM, obviously, Lokonga will return. But he's not. I don't think he'll return to the side. I think they'll look to move him on personally or send him on another loan. But that's interesting. That's an interesting one. I expect still another 6 to be brought in the summer. I hope. They can't use the Elneny extension as an excuse. I know they've got Jorginho, but they can't.
And Ant here says Rice can play 6 and 8, and that's something that I've had in my mind as well. So maybe the 8 we're going to go for can cover at 6 as well, or vice versa. We'll see. But like I said, the Elneny contract, I'm not against it. I'm not for it at the moment. I'm just interested to see what we do on top of that this summer. But, you know, we've still got a lot of football to play this season, and we've still got a lot to fight for this season. So I'm not too focused on the summer. It's just interesting that the contract's been renewed this early and you know, during him being out with injury. Elneny as a player, I think I've said it multiple times, we signed him for what, 7 million? Yep. And in terms of performances that we've got over him, from him over the last, how long has he been at the club now? 8, 9, is it 8, 9 years?
7 years.
7 years
ago, yeah. 7 years ago.
We've got 7 million worth out of him.
Facts. A million a year.
He's never been a player that we relied upon, nor should we rely upon him. Yeah. But he's been a loyal servant. He's done a job when he's been called upon. He's been part of the teams that have won big games over the years. I remember last season, you know, away at Chelsea, he was part of the first 11. Away at United, he was part of the first 11. So he's done a job when called upon. And hopefully he continues to do that in the next season as well. But hopefully he's not called upon as much as, you know, we'd hope. Yeah. Because you'd want Partey to be fit and firing, and you'd want, you know, that 6th position to be secure, because it's a very important position on the pitch. Very important. And you can see that when Thomas Partey's not there, how much we miss him. So Elneny, in terms of the man he is as well, I actually like him. Yeah, so I like his character. I like, you know, what he stands for. So I'm not too against it. Yeah, a year extension is what it is.
I don't see why not. He's been here for the good moments. Also been here for some bad. But I think I think Arsenal moving in a direction where now we have to move on from these players. But I don't think giving them an extension is going to affect the next phase for Arsenal, the next caliber of player we bring in. I think he's just a backup, very model professional. I don't think he disrupts anything. I think Arteta probably likes having him around as well. Also, they'll get to a point where we might have a big enough squad where he's not going to be needed at all. But I don't think it's a bad thing. He's got an injury currently, and like I said at the beginning, I think it's just a goodwill gesture from Arsenal, which you don't see at many clubs these days. A lot of clubs are just looking, it's like fast food factories. They're just trying to bring players in, throw them in, it doesn't work, and they keep them moving and buying new players. But for us, I think there's an ethos, there's a character from Arsenal at the moment. There's a culture that Arteta's trying to bring in, and he's looking after his players. So,
and he's taking a pay cut, right?
I assume so. I'm not saying he's probably not going to be on.
No, I think he has. I think he's signed for lower wages as well, if I'm not mistaken. So,
so fair. So there's nothing to worry about that. Like I said, there was a poll in the chat. Was it a good decision to extend Elneny's contract? Currently, it's saying 206 of you have got involved. Yes, 75%, and no, it says 25% of you. And that was on Mohamed Elneny's new contract extension until June 2024.
A couple super chats have come in on it as well. And Wayne says, I like Elneny. He has a genuine love for the club. He gives 100% every time. Great personality to have. And sure, it doesn't affect the summer business. I pretty much agree with all of that, and I hope that last sentence is true. Yeah. Eric says that this was fantastic because Elneny has been a great servant for us. Let's not forget Santi needed the same care, and we care for our loyal players. Yeah. And Eric says Declan will come regardless. Come on, you Gunners.
Like that. That's good. That's good. It's good. Thank you for the super chats. They're all on topic as well. And let's hope that's the truth. All of that, I hope, is the truth. That is funny though. Sure, it doesn't affect our summer business. Because I did worry about that, I must say. I didn't at first, but then when we just said about, Partey, Jorginho, I still understand, Arteta must still understand we still need cover or serious cover or competition for Partey. But the Kroenkes, they might be like, hold on, you've got 3 players in that position, why do you want more? But nah, that is something that will need to be addressed. And
well, back into Champions League at the very least. I know we're fighting for a league title at the moment, but I think top 4 is secure in my honest opinion. And Champions League football will be back at the Emirates. So, you know,
don't get yourself clipped. I'm joking.
Listen, if that gets clipped, I've got bigger shit to worry about than you know, getting clipped about that, because there would be an almighty collapse for us not to have Champions League football back next season.
Oh yeah, true. It'll be a big meltdown. I'm just trying to think though. Quickly, let me ask you this then. Jorginho, is he viable cover for Partey then for you in the summer? Is that fair for them to be like, if he continues going on the trajectory he is now? He's had good games. Yeah, I think the Everton game is unfair because no one really played well, but he had a kind of a bad appearance then. But from then, he's kicked on, continues in this trajectory. Do you still need a big signing in that 6, or is Jorginho fair enough cover for Partey?
In all honesty, okay, I'm going to be honest with Jorginho here. I've never actually rated Jorginho, even at his time at Chelsea.
Same.
So when we signed him, I was like, it's typical. You know, Arteta wanted a Caicedo, and we went and got Jorginho. It just seemed like, you know, more of the same from the club. But Jorginho over the last, let me not say over the last couple of games, because I think against City in the first half he was good.
And then he went.
Second half, no one was good, and he was included in that. Against Aston Villa, he was probably one of our best players overall, if not the best player on the pitch for us, and he had a massive part to play in the winner as well. Obviously there was a big chunk of fortune there, the way he hit off the bar and then off Martinez and went in, but you know, you don't shoot, you don't score, and he was a big reason why we got the 3 points in that game. He progressed the ball well. The more I see of Jorginho, and the more I see of that level of performance, then the more I'm going to say, okay, for now we can make do with it. Because Thomas Partey this season, as much as we've been let down in the past week, especially against Man City, having lost him, and how key he is, his injury record this season has been a lot better than the last couple of seasons. So if he can maintain that fitness, if he can maintain that consistency, then we won't need to rely upon our backups too much, even next season. But there's a big if there as well.
I want competition for that position. I hear you say that we keep calling them backups, but I want someone to really push.
And I think if you improve, okay, a lot of people are going to take this the wrong way, but if you improve on the 8 as well, because we can improve on that 8. Listen, as much as I've said I've given Xhaka flowers this season.
No, this shouldn't get taken the wrong way.
Yeah, but on DR Sports, we've done a keep, bench and sell. With Xhaka, I said bench. And if you go through the comments of that video, 90% of the comments are on my neck about it. How can you want to bench Xhaka? And that's not me underrating Xhaka's influence on us this season, because heading into the World Cup, I would have put him in the top 3 key players for Arsenal Football Club without a shadow of a doubt. And post World Cup, I put down his level dropping due to Jesus, because Jesus as a striker pulls defenders out of their position, and then that allowed Xhaka to get in the box and create problems. And without Jesus and Nketiah now being our striker, we don't actually get that anymore. So not only Martinelli has had some effect from Jesus being out, I think Xhaka has had too. But in the 8, I feel like, you know, we could do with someone a lot more efficient in the final third. You know, Xhaka has done very well to make that position his own this season, without a shadow of a doubt. Arteta's done very well to get what is the best out of Xhaka that we've seen at Arsenal Football Club since he's been at the club. But let's not mistake that we can improve on that position. So as much as, okay, there's a debate to be had whether Jorginho can fill in for Partey in key games, especially next season. If we improve on the 8, then that also adds to the midfield conundrum. And you know, right now with Jorginho and Xhaka, at times it can be stiff. And that is a problem, especially in key games. Against City is another example of that. But if you improve on the 8, that can improve the 6 as well. So I just want the club to do what they need to do in the summer.
In the midfield in the summer. All right, cool. Let's just read out some of the
couple more super chats have come in. Young Gunner says, Elneny is a good squad player, but with majority of our midfielders around 30, I think we need to sign 2 midfielders in the summer, a 6 and a 8. I do agree, but now we've talked and said Partey, Jorginho and Elneny, I have doubts, but listen, I'm not worried about the summer yet. I'm still worried about this season and what we can achieve.
And Fabio Vieira's also, listen, I think Arteta is looking to build Fabio Vieira into the first 11, for my personal opinion. He's 1, 6 and then 2 in front, and I think Fabio Vieira and Martin Odegaard, or if there's another player that can drop in there, even in Emile Smith-Rowe might take Xhaka's role. There's players there. Yes, we still need to improve on in the summer, but I think he is building for, you know, a Xhaka replacement it will come next season.
Dave said Jorginho ain't stiff. Okay, I get it. In terms of his passing, he's very fluid. But in terms of on the ball and moving forward on the ball, he's no Thomas Partey. And I guess that's what I mean about stiff, because it's similar with Xhaka. On the ball, Xhaka isn't the most fluid player.
That's definitely
but off
true.
the ball, especially pre-World Cup, he was offering a hell of a lot with his runs into the box. Dan says, would you take Rice and Mount better options? I wouldn't take Mount, if I'm honest with you.
He's fallen off. I feel like he's fallen off a little bit.
Declan Rice,
I've always
yeah.
liked Mount, no, but I think he's fallen off. Rice, 100%. I still believe that should be number one target in the summer.
John says, get McAllister instead of Caicedo in the 8. I'm a big fan of McAllister. I'd take McAllister. I'd take McAllister. Why not?
Yeah.
Why not? If you could get him for a reasonable fee, then I'd be interested for sure.
It's interesting. I know more about McAllister than I do Caicedo, if I'm honest. I shouldn't really be on that same vibe as you, because again, another player that was lauded up in the World Cup in the Argentine zone. I was over there by the Argentines, and good player, definitely a good player, but either I think either works.
Yeah.
Go on.
John said, that was John, he said the McAllister. Shrest says, glad we're rewarding loyalty. This is class because players got to pay their own medical bills. He's always been grateful and plays with a smile, and he hopes Jesus is back soon. And last one here from London Nomad says, everyone's talking about Rice or Caicedo for 8. How about McAllister? Also, Elneny is like Xhaka to the squad. Arteta wants his seniority for the youth. Yeah, I don't disagree. You know, I think the extension we will know more about in the summer. Let's see what we do in the summer to add to that year extension that Elneny's got. It's something that for now I'm not going to dwell on. Something for now I'm going to forget about. We'll see what we do in the summer to kind of aid and move us forward.
Definitely. All right, let's move the conversation over to again the game that was that. Obviously, went and watched Arsenal against Aston Villa versus Arsenal away at Villa Park, and there was one thing that was highlighted for me when I was in the stands, and firstly, just how important Bukayo Saka is. I mean, the whole conversation now is going to be around Bukayo Saka, an incredible young talent. I think he's superb every time he gets on the ball. But I'm bringing this conversation up because it's like we're going to go back in time, back to last season. The overprotection, should he be more protected? This player gets absolutely kicked to shit. I don't want to swear on here, but he gets absolutely lifted up, and it became a bit uncomfortable to watch for me in the stands on the weekend. Like it was so obvious. The ref was aware of it, but wasn't really cautioning the player straight away. And I feel like nowadays players are targeting. It's not just me that has this opinion, which I'll read where this has kind of all been brought up from as well. But it seems like teams are targeting Saka, and they're sharing the discipline. They're sharing the kicking him down. So you can't just be one person gets booked. Each people pick up cards for it. So again, it's said as well by Sam Dean from the Telegraph, the Arsenal teammates believe the winger is being targeted by opponents. So it's not just me that I had noticed this, but I didn't really have nowhere to really say it when I was there on Saturday. But now I think it's the perfect time. I think it was ridiculous, and obviously he got booked. It was him and was it Coutinho? They both got into a little kerfuffle, and they both got booked. But he made no fouls, Bukayo Saka, on the weekend. No fouls, but got hacked down 3 times with a stat. So it's clearly beginning to, I think, affect him as well, because his reaction, he got annoyed. I've never seen Bukayo Saka be kicked down. Normally I see him get kicked down and get back up, and it's just normal. It goes back to it, run at you again, beat you again, standard procedure. He actually got a bit rattled this time, and not just that, he was evidently injured. For many people that was in the stands, you might have seen it online, on TV as well. He was limping at a lot of the game. His boot come off, he was holding his Achilles, and the physio came on for a long period of time. I think we were kind of trying to work out what the physio was trying to say to him, but it seemed like he was like, you kind of have to stay on, really, because Arteta wants you to stay on. We need you. And you see him get up, put his boot back on, kind of grit his teeth and just say, right, let's get to this. And I saw him when he got the ball, he looked uncomfortable, passed it back. He wasn't trying to beat the man because he's still trying to manage the injury. But then towards the end of the game, I think adrenaline takes over you there. And he started playing well again, but there was definitely clear pain there. And I hope it's not as serious as what it felt like it was in the stands. But there needs to be some more protection, and I don't think it's ever going to come. Realistically, refs are not going to be like, listen, this player always gets injured, always gets fouled, be a bit more, sensitive on him. But I don't know how they go about it, but there needs to be more awareness to it, because it's becoming frustrating. He's such a key player. It kind of moves on to the conversation of like, if he's out the side, do we really feel affected by it, Turkish? Like, would you really see a big drop if?
Of course, 100%.
Because he's the main attack. I don't care what anyone says. Yes, we have threats from everywhere, but I promise you, at Villa, we were going down his side, giving him the ball, and looking at him like, please do something. That's how it felt as a fan as well.
Yeah, listen, Saka's been, you know, he's called star boy, so no pun intended, but he's been our star over the years, not just one of the stars this season. But also the way he plays, it's like he thrives off the contact as well.
True.
You know, he's not that in behind winger. He's a winger that's going to come to the ball,
and rip you,
wait for the contact, spin it, or, you know, play a 1-2 round. So it's something that he's had to get used to as well. Don't get me wrong. You know, a lot of the time players are getting away with fouling him, because in this modern day football, there's a lot of times I look at it and I'm thinking that's a foul, but it's not given. And I don't know. Listen, I watch Arsenal. I love Arsenal, so I don't know how relevant this is across the league. I'm sure there are other players out there that, you know, complain about the same thing too. But I just feel like with Saka, he's made himself robust enough to still be there for us, still be consistent, still ride those challenges and ride those little knocks and niggles and get past it and continue delivering.
Is that fair though? That's not fair for a young player to. You're right. He's strong. He gets up and carries on. But it's like, for me, the ref should be stamped straight away. As soon as he gets, they're not going to get a yellow card straight away, but say if he gets 2 challenges, they'll normally wait for the third. But as soon as it's on the same player, book the player, let them know, like, yo, and if this happens again, you're coming off, like, you're getting red carded. I just don't think the refs are on top of it enough, and he shouldn't have to go through actual physically war and injuries to see.
But what are the refs on top of?
There's a whole conversation.
We could have a whole live about what the refs are not on top of, because they do very little right across every Premier League game.
It's a great point.
You know, so you know, for people to rely on the referee's competence, you know,
we're in a bad place to be.
You're already letting yourself down, because the likelihood is you're not going to be impressed. And Saka does deserve more protection. He does get fouled a hell of a lot, but Arteta said it, you know, it's going to continue happening.
Yeah.
You know, it's just something we've had to get used to. And it's something that, in my opinion, Saka will probably be a better player for as he gets older. Let's hope that none of these challenges turn into one that's a career-defining injury, or an injury that keeps him out for a long time and has an impact on his future, because that will be the worst-case scenario. But in terms of how he's kind of been riding the waves over the last couple of years, in terms of these, you know, challenges and knocks and stuff, I think he's going to be a better player for it as his body develops more, as he becomes more experienced, as he becomes more and more the focal point, because he is a focal point of our side, especially with Jesus out in attack. He is the focal point.
Yeah, definitely. And you know what? That's a good point. I remember Manchester used to say to me, "You're a good player if you keep getting kicked down. It shows that they respect you." But I'm just having this conversation because I want the protection to kind of be put there before that career-changing tackle could come in. Again, if you're relying on the officials, like you said, you're not in the best position, but he is phenomenal. He's literally the guy that when he was on the pitch, everyone just seems like we're just looking for him to do something, which I admired. But boy, hopefully he grows with it. He doesn't get too serious of an injury. I see why Arteta gets so frustrated on the side and you know, tries to protect them, but again, more needs to be done. In my personal opinion, some people say this is Arsenal bias, because every player gets kicked down. I suppose the same argument could be held for Jack Grealish, a player that gets kicked down regularly. And to be honest, he relishes that though, I think, as well. That's become a Jack Grealish's game, where he's the most fouled player. That was last season, obviously, but for me, it's a protection thing. I think it's like a Saka's our star boy. We want to just hold him down, but
we can't afford to lose him. That's why.
That's what it is. I don't know. Man City have options. I don't know massive options we have in that position for Bukayo Saka. I don't know who really goes in there and gives us the same sort of level. There's not really, move Eddie out to the right, maybe put Fabio Vieira in there. Like, it's not the same. It's
not even worth thinking about, because the drop off is going to be immense, because he's made that position his own now, and we don't see a future in that position without Bukayo Saka. So
100%.
You know, maybe we add more depth into that position come summer. I think that's something we should have done last summer. I know people say Vieira can play there, and Vieira has played there this season, but I look at more Vieira as a 10 or an 8. Than I do as a right winger, right forward, in my honest opinion. So maybe we need to protect him more ourselves by having another option in there for certain games, because his injury record has been pretty flawless over the years.
It has.
and it's hard to rely upon that. You also need to protect him as a club as well. So and Rafinha seemed to be an option in the summer. It seemed to be someone we inquired about at the very least. So hopefully it's on the radar.
It's true. You read this. You said about Fabio Vieira being a 10 there. Just read that super chat there. I think it's from John. Is it John?
Charlie Patino to eventually replace Xhaka.
Charlie Patino seems like, now I'm not going to say like I've been watching Blackpool and him on loan religiously, because I haven't, but obviously I know a bit about Patino. I watched him in the under-21s before he went on loan and whatnot, and obviously when he played in the first team. But him and Fabio Vieira similar. You may not have seen enough as well, but I'm just like, I get Patino, he's doing very well and he's doing very well in his loan, but for me the profile of player seems similar in the way they're good on the ball, technical ability, good final pass. I don't know if Charlie Patino might be a bit more robust, but that's a player then that is also might be coming back at the end of the season as well. Do you try and look to squeeze him in, or do you?
I don't know. When Patino was coming through, I saw him more as a deep line
6.
Oh yeah, there you go. As a deep line 6. That's what I saw more of him coming through. But he has got qualities to play in the 8. Now, am I saying that's enough for us moving forward? No, because he's also still young, and you know he might benefit from another loan move in the summer. This one seemed to have gone very successfully for him. But in terms of similar profile, I think Vieira is a lot more lightweight, having come from a different league as well. Whereas Patino was raised here, he's used to the English way.
Yeah, fair.
And he's had to kind of grow up in the robust nature of English football. So
okay, I want to get your opinion on that, and just look at this little segue here from one player on loan, Charlie Patino, to another player on loan, making a lot of noise, and we have to have this conversation. I want people in the comments as well to get involved here. Nuno Tavares scored a lovely goal against Toulouse. I don't know, I'm very bad at pronouncing that name, but driving into the box, he went down the left and scored a goal this weekend. And that makes him 6 goals in 20 games. Now, I'll just give you some more stats on that. Tavares is the highest scoring defender currently in the top 5 leagues in Europe as well this season, which to me, that is a mad stat. Currently obviously playing for Marseille, sitting second in Ligue 1. Doing very well. Also a very fast player. He's amongst the names of Alphonso Davies, Mbappe, Theo Hernandez for the top speed as well, of a player. Now, this just opens up a lot. 6 goals in 20 appearances for Nuno Tavares. Currently, obviously on loan, our player still. That left back position, Zinchenko, Tierney, great players there. What will people be saying though? What are you saying? Does he need another loan? Is it time to sell? Because think about it, his stock's high. He's creating a lot of noise. I don't know if people are surprised that he's scoring goals. For me, and I'm sure Robbie will say this as well, Robbie saw him as a winger. I wouldn't say he's a natural winger, but he had more winger qualities. I still question a lot of his defending attributes, but he's a player of ours. Do you bring him back in the summer? Do you let him go on another loan? Do you sell up? Is it a player that's now going to, it causes a bit of a talking topic?
Off the cuff, I'm going to say sell while the stocks are high.
Right.
I'd hope that Marseille are so happy with him that they'll put in a good offer and get the deal done pretty swiftly.
We're like their feeder club, but anyway.
At the same time, a lot of people are having doubts about Kieran Tierney's future at the club. I don't really have as much doubt as a lot of people do, because we have Champions League football back next season, and we've still got the Europa League to fight for this season, and I'm still expecting to see Tierney quite a bit more. And I feel like with Tierney and Zinchenko, we've got a good balance there in terms of 2 left backs that offer very different things. 2 left backs that I feel like the majority of the fan base would be happy to see in the starting lineup. So I'd be happy to go in again next season with Zinchenko and Tierney as our options at left back. That leaves very little for another option.
No one else? So you'd happy going with those 2 and not look to even just bring in
because what we're saying, a third choice for every position, that's all mad, because then you've got 33 players on your hands. So there's going to be certain positions you're going to have a couple players that are going to fight for it. And Zinchenko, he's had a couple games out with injuries this season. We know Tierney's injury record, but I think overall those 2, in terms of the left back situation, if we go in again next season with those 2, it's one of our strongest positions. So with Tavares, I feel like he's had a good season. Hopefully he's caused enough noise to to ramp up his price tag. What did we get him for? 7 mil, 8 mil?
I don't know. It was quite.
It was cheap.
Around. I thought it was around 10. I thought it was like 11, but I don't know. It was around that.
It was cheap.
Around that mark. Yeah.
So
but there's no conversation.
Make profit for once on a player.
Yeah, but there's no conversation then from you to say, like, you know, you see how these fullbacks have come in more inverted or more attacking. We could bring him. It was 8 million.
8 million.
For Tavares. But yeah, no conversation to say, you know, how fullbacks have become nowadays, more inverted, more attacking, that Arsenal could make him into the player we need. Or you think Zinchenko gives that enough, and Tierney, I know I speak to fans about Tierney, they say, you know, he's a defender that defends, and that you think we've got enough of the balance there. Tavares could be made into a hybrid.
I don't think he's got the maturity to play in a system that Arteta wants, if I'm honest with you. He's a bit kind of gung-ho in a sense, where you don't really know what you're going to get week in, week out from him.
Yeah.
You can't really rely upon him off the bench either. So for me, it's just, you know, a very good loan spell, low price tag that we got him for, potential to make a nice profit on top of that.
Nice 20 mil would be nice, isn't it, for Tavares?
It would be nice.
That'd be good, to be fair.
It would be nice.
So listen, I'm a fan, I like Tavares, but I agree. I don't think it's a bad thing for him as well. I think people go over to France and excel as well. We saw it with William Saliba. Yes, he came back. He's done well. Balogun. I mean, I don't just talk about Balogun, but he's gone over to Ligue 1 as well. Done very, very well. So, like, not saying that, like, that's your level, but you enjoy your loan spell. And Marseille, they're currently sitting second. They're a good team. They're in the big competitions as well. I think it's something that he would probably benefit from doing as well. But yeah, I'd like Balogun back. Just so you know.
Yeah, listen, I want to see Balogun back as well. You know, a lot of people are suggesting he goes out on another loan. I disagree with that. I think we should have 3 strikers going into next season.
It depends, because I'm kind of on the wave. I think he should go on another loan, but that just depends on what business he's doing.
How old is he? 22?
22, yeah.
Yeah,
or 21.
What sending man out on loan again for? We're seeing man younger than him already into their second, third seasons at the club. Like.
I know Eddie was going through this stage. He was like, I'm not young anymore and I should be playing. And yeah, I hear that. It depends what you do in the summer. If you get more strikers, I want him to play. If he's going to be, I want him to play. I know there's cup competitions and whatnot, but I want him to play. I think he deserves that. He's doing so well at the moment. But yeah, but if he's not going to play and get the minutes he deserves, send him on another loan, but hopefully in the Premier League. Actually, that could be a conflict of interest. But yeah, that is what it is. But,
let me look at the super chats, because we missed a few from the last one as well. Moses says, good to see Turkish and Cecil back. Love from India.
Big
love
up.
For the love, my guy. London Nomad again says, while Saka has made that position his own, I really hope Reece Nelson grows and gets better as well. Hopefully Europa League gives him a chance, potentially. I mean, Reece tends to be a forgotten man at times.
That's a good point.
I thought we'd see past him in the summer, but he stayed.
I thought he was going to come on. I said to James was next to me in the stands, I said, Saka's injured, he's going to come off. And I said, I don't know who he brings on. I was like, Reece Nelson. He might bring on Reece Nelson. But yeah, I feel for Reece, because he didn't make any appearance. Maybe he might not be ready, but that would have been the perfect time. Not that I wanted to see Saka come off because he's such a good outlet for us, but that would have been the perfect time to have bring him on in that game. But if he's not played in Europa League, then I worry about the future for Reece Nelson.
I wish the best for Reece Nelson as well. I just thought it just hadn't worked out for him. That's why I thought that in the summer just gone, we would have, sold him or gone past him, but he stayed, and he hasn't had much game time this season. Obviously, that one game stands out. Was it against Nottingham Forest?
Yeah, when he come and scored two goals.
Was it Forest? Yep. I think it was Forest.
It was.
So that game stands out to us, and then he's picked up an injury and he's been out for a little while again. Maybe the Europa League, we will see him, but it all depends on who you get in the Europa League as well, because it's come to the knockout stages. So yeah, as much as we're in a Premier League title race and we're fighting to win a Premier League title, let's not discount the Europa League and winning in Europe.
Is that where you're at? Would you say in this next round?
We've got 2 competitions. That's it. Let's go for it. It's not about choice.
But Thursday, Sunday can affect them.
Thursday, Sunday, Champions League is Wednesday, Saturday. So it's not, this thing is just all a hype sometimes. Do you get what I'm saying?
I'm just throwing the other side out to you, bro. I'm just doing the other side.
Obviously, Champions League can be Tuesday, Saturday. It could be Wednesday, Sunday. I get it. So sometimes you have more rest days in between.
Of course, and travelling back.
This is why you build a squad. And this is why you can't have certain positions that the drop-off in quality is so vast, because then you have over-reliance on certain players. And
so you're not going to be annoyed if you see a strong starting 11 from Arsenal in Europa League, like a starting 11, the regular starting 11 in Europa League, and then see them against Sunday
No,
would you
because
say
group
so?
stages, I understand. In the Europa League group stages, you can go weak and still qualify top of the group.
Right.
But in the knockout stages, it depends on who you draw.
Cool.
You know, I don't know how the draw is going to be made. I don't know if the teams
it's
that are in
weird.
this knockout now are going to be seeded second, and then the teams that have gone straight through are going to be seeded first. I don't know if that's how it works.
I think that, we spoke about this on the way
I
up.
don't know if we can get Man United and Barca straight away in the next round. Obviously, those two other teams I'm looking at as strong competition for the Europa League. One of them will be out come Friday morning. When is the draw for Europe? It must be soon.
It must be soon. It must be after. I've got it. Sorry. Just give me
It must be really. It must be real soon. So
I believe it's next week. Europa League.
Listen, I think that
It's on Friday.
this Friday.
Yeah.
There you go. So we'll know on Friday what's what. And at the end of the day, you gotta go strong if you gotta go strong.
That's what I need to hear from you. I need to hear, because you went on, you toed the line. Then you said it depends what you play, but is it? I know you're sticking with that, but do you go strong for both? And for me, I think you do. I mean, I'm not gonna excuse Mikel Arteta and go out and say, look, you should have rested these players. I won't do that. I won't do that, because Europa. I want to see Europa League. I want to see silverware, whether it's a Premier League title.
We
or
rested
European
players
League.
against Manchester City in the FA Cup, so he will rotate in the Europa League as well. That's a given. But it's also down to the players given chances to stand up and take those chances. So if Tierney's given chances in the Europa League, stand up and take your chances. If Vieira's given chances in Europe, stand up and take your chances. It's someone who hasn't. Lokonga was sent out alone in January. So, you know, that's chances for these players on the cusp, on the fringes, to prove themselves and give the manager something to think about in the Premier League.
I think Arteta's fair as well. He gives these players chances. He does give them, and I think nowadays we've got to be a bit more ruthless, a bit more cutthroat. Like, this is Arsenal now going for a title in the Premier League and also going for Europa League. So I think you got to be you take your chance, and if you don't, then Arteta, do what you need to do, because it's only right. It's only right. It's serious now. We're in the best position we've been in years. So yeah, go for it. And a lot of these clubs as well, also in many other cup competitions, not just a Europa League and Premier League, they're in other cup competitions. So I think it's right. I think we go for it, go strong, and people that get their chance, please take it. That's a little message.
One super chat's coming from TQ, said, I'm a Middlesbrough fan and Akpom is taking us up. Good luck, Arsenal.
I love that, by the way, because I didn't even know it was at Borough. That's poor from me, by the way, but I was a big fan of Chuba Akpom. Like, when I was playing, I looked to him for his career. I was like, I want to be that. So big him up, and hopefully he does bring you guys up, man. And I'm surprised he's had a big roller coaster of a career.
Middlesbrough, OG Premier League club. Like when I was growing up, there was Jorginho, Ravanelli. They had some quality players in their ranks. So yeah, it'd be nice to see Middlesbrough up again. Been a while since.
It'd be good. They had Balogun on loan there as well. Mad, but now obviously Chuba's there full time.
Oh yeah, they did. Yeah.
Interesting. Big up. Thanks for that super chat. And yeah, like I said, we hope you come up.
Listen, there's 2.2k in the building as well. Hit the like button. There's only 200 likes, people. Come on, let's get up to 1,000 likes. Let's do that. About 20 minutes left of
You lot
this live
man.
stream.
Like the video, man.
And just a reminder, tomorrow from 12 p.m. in the afternoon is a special 12-hour live stream from AFTV. All proceeds are going towards Turkey and Syria's earthquake appeals. So make sure you're there. And here's a little ad for it.
On Wednesday, the 22nd of February, we're going to be hosting a very special 12-hour live stream here on AFTV. We're going to be raising funds for the victims of the devastating earthquake in Turkey and Syria. We're bringing together all your favorite programs, plus as well your favorite presenters on AFTV and also around the football community here on YouTube. All coming together to do this special 12-hour stream where we can raise as much funds as possible for those victims of that deadly earthquake. So join us on Wednesday, the 22nd of February from 12 p.m. till 12 a.m.
Yes, people. Just a heads up as well. Multiple shows, multiple guests, going from Invincible podcast, Best of Enemies, a Big Six special, Bias Premier League special,
FIFA as
Forever Arsenal. There's going to be FIFA games galore as well. 12-hour live stream. The link is already in the description below. So if you're ready to donate, if you can donate, please do. If you can share it, please do. And join us tomorrow, 12-hour live stream. We'll see you there. And over the last half an hour, 20 minutes or so, I've been seeing a lot of United fans popping up in the live chat comment section. So let's talk about United a bit. Let's talk about United a bit, because as much as I'm seeing United fans popping up here and there, all I'm tending to hear from United fans is one game at a time. We're not in a title race. Ten Hag's doing miracles and this and that. I mean, I was on Big Six just last night, and
Rashford's the best player in Europe, right?
Yeah.
Right, everything. But we're not in a title race. We're not in a flex. This is for you. Let me come to my direct camera. You see, you flex, yeah. Just quickly. You are starting to wind me up. We're not in a title race, game by game. But then when I said about Rashford, I said Rashford's on good form. Yeah, best player in Europe right now. But you're not in a title race. Again, Ten Hag doing miracles. Arsenal, like you mentioned, not in a title race. A couple points behind Man City, not in a title race. No, but we want City to win the league, our biggest rivals. But we're not in a title race. Allow that. You're in it. You're in it. Just own up to it. I don't know why you're getting scared. Just because you say we think we might be able to win the league doesn't still gonna jinx you. Just chill out. Come and join the party. Because I remember how loud you were, Flex. Oh, Cecil, you're in a title race. Oh, you're gonna win the league. Yeah, all right. So now you're with us. Yeah. Enjoy it, embrace it. It's what Premier League's about. These United fans, game by game.
Look, so you got one of them doing maths in the comment section now. If United won all their remaining games, they'd be on 91 points, and that's failed to win the title 4 out of the last 5 seasons, and that equates to not in a title race. Listen, United are 5 points off top, 3 points off Man City, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, make it up now.
Right now, as it stands, and you look at the table, if you're a neutral, you're looking at Arsenal, City, and United. You're looking at 15, 16 games left of the season, and you're saying any one of those 3 can really go for it. And, you know, business end of the season is now. When push comes to shove, the winner comes from who's going to be the best formed team in the next 10 to 15 games.
Exactly that. And you can see teams dropping. Like, you've seen Man City drop points this weekend. You've seen us drop points as well. Like, we had a gap on them. Like, just admit it. I can't deal with all this, because they come with the energy, like they think they're slick. They're like, oh, so you're gonna win the league. Oh, and you know, no, don't worry about us. Like I said, game by game. But you guys, you're gonna win the league. Yeah, you're gonna be up there. You're trying to bait us, and I get it. It's all fun and jokey and whatnot. But United fans doing this, we know your game, but don't be shy to it, because you're so loud when it comes to when you win on the weekend. You're so loud, but then you'll say, nah, I'm not in title race. But again, like I said, Rashford's the best player, and Ten Hag's doing miracles and all of this. And, you know, Lisandro Martinez is unbelievable. Look what he's done there. Ten Hag's got everything right. He's dealt with big situations. You know, the process is potentially, you know, going to happen this season. You're in a title race. You're in a final as well. Like, just admit it, guys. It's fine. There's no shame in it. There's no shame.
Even that final, I don't want to hear United fans talking after that final. If they win it, the League Cup is dead.
no, they're taking that as a big trophy.
Of course they're going to take it. Yeah, but that just shows how much they would have fallen off over the last 10 years.
That's going to rattle some of them.
The League Cup is dead. I'm not having it. The League Cup is dead. It's not a trophy like that.
It's a fight.
I've said it for years. It's not that. It's a trophy that essentially, in my opinion, should be scrapped or should be for the lower leagues, because, you know, it just doesn't hold that weight.
Exactly that. And on top of that, Newcastle ain't even got a recognised goalkeeper right now, because there's a lot of, obviously, the red card from Nick Pope. The other keeper's cup-tied, and then the third one's injured.
Karius is injured apparently.
So, but I know United fans will be loud if they win it.
Of course they'll be loud. Of course they'll be loud. But League Cup is like the Florida Cup. It's like the Audi Cup. Don't bring that nonsense around here.
You can't put it the Audi Cup and the Florida Cup's a pre-season cup.
Bro, this is a mid-season cup though. Am I lying? It's a mid-season cup.
The Dubai Super Cup, when the World Cup was on, it's the same level.
That's what I'm saying. So don't listen. If United fans, focus on the Premier League and the FA Cup and the Europa League, because the League Cup, okay, you got to the final, you might win it, you probably will win it. All good and well, enjoy it, but please don't be atting anyone, don't be tweeting anyone. It is not that trophy. It doesn't hold that weight. United are a massive club, a massive institution, and I don't want to be hearing noise about no League Cup. But banter aside, United have done very, very well in recent months. Ten Hag has done a very good job to squeeze the best out of the squad he has. He rotates well. The performances have been good. He tweaks tactically when needed. Even against Leicester this weekend, I mean, the first half, Leicester really should have been up, in my opinion, probably 2-3-1 at half time. They wasn't. second half, little tweaks from Ten Hag, and United ran away with it.
I like that you moved on to this because TM101 was going mad in the comments all throughout the show with capital letters saying, Cecil, have a word with Turkish. You called Rashford thing ages ago. I mean, I know. So I just had to I'll screenshot it just because I saw him saying it and I know he's probably there. But obviously, do you know what? I'm in a position as well where I'm aware of what players are doing, and obviously I was close to Rashford doing the body doubling, and I knew what summary he had in pre-season. I knew kind of how he was going to hit the ground running this season. I said it in the video. You walked out in Florida. Bobby was like, "No, I'm not having that. I don't want him." But again, he's been on great form, and I have to give him his props. I have to give him his big ups.
A lot of United fans didn't want him last season. Let's not forget that.
That's why it was such an outlandish shout when I said it, because they were, and I know from him as well. He wasn't. I wasn't set with him. He wasn't. Not he obviously. He's a United man. He's a United boy. But he said a lot of people were doubting him anyway, and he had a lot to prove. He was injured for a lot of last season. But yeah, he wasn't going through the best time towards that time when
he's in the form of his life right now as well. Let's not, let's not.
No, I see it did.
Rashford's a good player. He's a good player, but at the same time, he's also playing for a contract right now. So it's hard to, we've seen this in the past, not just from United players, Arsenal. We've seen it multiple players across multiple teams, across multiple leagues. When it's time for contract renewals, sometimes you see a different player. Once the contract is signed, sometimes you see the same player that you saw a couple of years before that contract renewal was on the cards. So he's on great form, but his contract's also coming to a pivotal point. Yeah,
but again, he's in the form of his life, but you've got to give him credit for that. Even if he's playing for a contract.
I'd love nothing more for United to go offering 350, 400k, because he's not worth 350, 400k.
No. I don't think many players are, I'll be honest.
But that's what it's going to get to be looking like.
Yeah, it's going to have to get to that level.
Because isn't he on about 200 already?
Well, another thing here, we're not in the title race game by game, but we've got Saudi owners coming. You wait, Cecil. So you wait. When we get the money as well, you not wait. I was like, you're in it. Yeah, we get it. Okay, congrats. Just you're in it. This is what the Premier League is about. So just enjoy it. Okay, cool. If they do get they're looking like it's probably going to get new owners, but yeah. He might get that money because they might have new owners as well, and they're going to have crazy money as well. But yeah, fair play to him, fair play to Rashford as well, and they're in the title race. I think that's the beauty of it. I hated when they come up to me. It was like, this was like near the start of the season. You guys are top, going for the title. Like they were just the way the little digs, they're trying to fish for you. But we're in a good position. They're in a good position. City also around there. Still a lot of games left, but the numbers are around. I should read out the points as well. So obviously Arsenal on 54, Man City on 52, United only on 49 points. But that's a win and a draw, and then Tottenham are on 42. That's the top four currently. It's tight.
I mean the top three is clear in terms of looking at Tottenham's points. And Newcastle just below them.
By 1 point.
Yeah, United have done very well to be in the conversation. They was far from the conversation pre-World Cup, I'll be honest with you. But like I said, Ten Hag's done a great job, and he's changed the fortunes of the club pretty swiftly as well. Good manager.
To be fair.
We can't forget that he's a manager with experience. Albeit in a different league, a weaker league, and so on. And he's a manager that also got a nice bit of money to spend in the summer as well. I think 230 million, something around those lines. So, he's got the resources, and United seem to be under a couple takeover bids. So it's definitely a club to be worried about in the next few years, depending on how that takeover goes. But I just hope that one day we wake up and, similar to FSG with Liverpool, Glazers say, you know what, we ain't selling.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
We ain't going anywhere.
That'd be nice. Well, listen, we are slowly coming towards the end, but I just wanted to I like how we ended on that. United fan, because you can tell it's right of me.
Well, they're here, so we might as well.
Yeah, I want to address it because it's annoying. They were like, Casemiro, Partey, comparison, Rashford, Saka. Right? All right, so you're as good as you're in the race. You're as good as us, aren't you? You're in the race. So yeah, we'll end it on that anyway. You United fans, we see. But big up. We go back to football again. Obviously this weekend, taking on Leicester, we're going away, and hopefully we can continue now back on a winning form, because it was very touch and go at the say the 88th or 90th minute on the weekend.
Very touch and go.
Could have been a very different week for me and all of us as Arsenal fans, actually, to be honest. But
it turned out to be a perfect weekend. I mean, City then dropped points, and
I was vibing, was in the car down the motorway, me, Lee and Julian singing, going crazy. They couldn't believe they dropped points to Forest. But listen, it is what it is. There's still long to go, and I shouldn't be able to say that because you know how I've been acting in my antics. But it is what it is. Listen, big up everyone that's joined us on the live today. I have to reiterate, Turkish has mentioned it many times throughout the live. We are doing a live stream tomorrow, 12-hour stream in aid of Turkey and Syria. So if you can donate and join us, please do. Plenty of your favourite guests coming on shows, and we're going to be live and giving you the content that you all guys deserve. So please join us throughout that, and yeah, we'll hopefully see you again tomorrow. Turkish, thank you very much for joining me.
Love, my bro.
And a big day tomorrow. Get your Red Bulls, get your teas in.
But I can't taste anything right now. I'm just drinking water, my bro. just drinking wine, even eating, just water, and that's it.
It's gonna be a long day for you tomorrow, but it's all for a good cause, man.
Trust me, man.
All for a good cause. Big up everyone. Like the video if you like the video, and subscribe here if you're new, and we'll see you again very soon. Take care.
Love.
On Wednesday, the 22nd of February, we're going to be hosting a very special 12-hour live stream here on AFTV. We're going to be raising funds for the victims of the devastating earthquake in Turkey and Syria. We're bringing together all your favorite programs, plus as well your favorite presenters on AFTV and also around the football community here on YouTube. All coming together to do this special 12-hour stream where we can raise as much funds as possible for those victims of that deadly earthquake. So join us on Wednesday, the 22nd of February from 12 p.m. till 12 a.m.